So, who's hooked on the new Dragon Ball Daima series? No one? Well, I can't say I'm fully invested yet either. But the first couple of episodes have been fun, and I'm glad they're a continuation of Z. Nevertheless, we got some new releases from S.H.Figuarts, which means new engineering, new accessories, and hopefully some overall good figures too. Tamashii has already announced 6 figures in their new Daima wave, including Chibi Vegeta and Piccolo in the upcoming months, as well as adult versions of Goku and Vegeta next year. Devil Guy has been shown at various shows and events but not yet solicited, but first up, it's our tenacious little hero, literally, Chibi Goku. Let's take a look. So I thought Dragon Ball GT Kid Goku was small. This little guy is tiny as Chaozu in the best way possible, of course, because when it comes to Kid Gokus, the smaller the better. Now you don't hear that a lot of these days. We've had some pretty great Kid Goku figures over the years. The OG Dragon Ball Kid Goku and its Tamashii store exclusive are both great figures, albeit being a little bit on the big side, especially with the head. GT Kid Goku improved the scale significantly with both body and head size, and I feel it's probably the best scale wise. I prefer the longer, more standard looking limbs. The new Daima Goku has more of that chibi look to it. The head is about the same, it is a little bit wider and has more volume to the hair compared to the GT, but the body is a little smaller, a little bit more cutesy. When you have them all lined up together like this, the difference between them is actually pretty significant. I still love my original Dragon Ball Kid Goku, and I think GT Kid Goku works too. But I'd really love to see the OG Dragon Ball Goku get a version 2 in this size as well. Maybe the new V-Jump exclusive will be a little bit closer to this new scale. And right after I recorded this, Tamashii did have an interview with the designers showing just how small he is compared to the OG Dragon Ball Kid Goku. So yeah, he does scale a lot better. Being such a small figure, there really isn't too much to work with here, but I really like the mix of plastics they've used for the body. Soft rubbery plastics for your torso, because you're not going to get an ab cut in there, and your traditional hard plastics for everything else. Again, for such a tiny little guy, there still is some sculpted details there with the gi and the pants. This is the new gi for Goku in Daima, which I guess is kind of similar to his Whis suit without the logos and your simplified tassel-less obi. Bright blues and oranges with laces for his boots, which is funny since we see Goku wearing his blue boots with red trimming in his adult form. Anyway, either I missed something or it's just Dragon Ball consistency for you. For heads, we get 2 options, your normal spikes off to the side option, and a battle wind-swept head sculpt as well. I'm always down for options, and this is great. To go along with those head sculpts, Mini Goku comes with 4 faceplate options, including a happy-go-lucky smile, your battle-ready stern expression, and a teeth grit and full shout options for all your fighting poses Kamehameha needs. They're cute, they're adorable, and the printing is crispy cream donuts clean. Could he come with more expressions? Sure, but we haven't seen enough of the series yet, but as the anime progresses, we might get a few more down the line, maybe even a Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 3 upgrade. So let's take a look at Mini Goku's articulation, and I gotta say, at this size, it's just so much easier, so much nicer, like frame-wise, to get Goku in front of the camera and shoot. And I know that doesn't mean anything for you guys, but when I got Goku in front of the camera, it was just like, wow, hey, this is a lot easier than your regular size figures. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. But yeah, Goku does look up pretty good. Very cute. He looks down, probably a little bit better. And we do get some really nice left and right head tilt. And we do have some nice space underneath the head there. It's not too much that it becomes gappy, but there is just enough to get Goku to get some really free moving motion in his head. As for the arms, he does bring his arms up 90 degrees. He does have 360 there at the shoulder. The way it works is that it's a ball hinge, so there is a ball going into the shoulder, and his arms are on a hinge. For butterfly joints, he can bring his arms in really well for your natural looking Kamehameha poses, and he can bring his arms back just as good too for all your Naruto running poses. Again, very cute. For elbows, we do have a single joint, but I think that's, decent for a single joint. And we have these, pretty big, well, big in comparison to how small he is, wrist hinges that allows him to move his wrists up and down, and swivels as they fall off. But yeah, he does have swivels and wrist hinges, which are great. So again, like I mentioned, the bottom half of his gi here is a rubbery plastic, and this is your standard one, the one that comes in the box. You'll probably get a little bit more range when it comes to the kind of flared out one that he comes with as well. But for ab crunch, there's not much, but he does have like a tiny bit of movement going forward, and actually a little bit more going back. So I guess for those, horizontal flying poses, it does help. You do get a little bit side to side, and you do have your waist twist there as well. As for legs, Goku does kick out a decent amount. That's a pretty good spread, I think. And we do get backward and forward again. Not completely 180, but yeah, I think that's pretty decent. You can still get some pretty good kicking poses in there. We have a single joint for his knees. No boot cut, but we do have a swivel at the ankle, a toe hinge, and some really good ankle pivot. So this is kind of like a miniature version of your 3.0 ankles, which I think works really, really good. So yeah, I mean, again, for his size, and you'll hear me say this a lot throughout the review, but for his size, he has some really good articulation. Definitely more than enough for you to get Goku in some pretty nifty looking poses. So have fun with it. For teeny tiny Goku's accessories, we get some teeny tiny fists for punching, your classic Goku fighting pose hands, and of course a pair of tiny Kamehameha hands for all your Kamehameha poses. But we also get some power pole holding hands, because where would any Kid Goku be without his trusty power pole? And just like that, we have Mini Goku whipping out some OG power pole moves. The stick is just a short or in-scale red pole, nothing flashy, but it works, and it comes with a sheath and strap for his shoulder too. The last accessory we get is a swappable bottom half of his gi, which pairs up nicely with his windswept hairpiece. Not sure how often I'll change it up, but again, options are nice. You guys know I'm always down for anything when it comes to Dragon Ball, whether it's the original Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball Z, GT, or Super. I will always have an undying affinity for the older stuff, but always open to new stuff too. It'll probably take me a little while to get used to Daima if I'm speaking honestly, but nevertheless I am looking forward to the figures, especially the adult versions of Goku and Vegeta. The chibi versions are cute, don't get me wrong, they're fun, and with some creativity, you can probably get some interesting shots too if you're into toy photography. I understand that Daima isn't for everyone, but the figures itself I feel is a step up for Tamashii in terms of their engineering for smaller scale figures. The Figuarts Dragon Ball line does wonders when it comes to the big guys, but they haven't been the most consistent with the smaller guys, which I totally understand. I'd imagine it'd be pretty hard working with such a small scale. In saying that, Goku is great articulation, fun accessories, and the heads are getting smaller and smaller, which looks a lot better when compared to your normal adult size figures. Even if you don't care about the Daima series, I think this is a positive step forward in seeing maybe some older fan favorites like Kid Trunks and Goten maybe in the future, using similar engineering. I say pick it up if you're enjoying the show or want a Kid Goku in your collection. If not, we've got the adult versions to look forward to next year. So today's IG inspiration is someone insanely talented and does some of the best Dragon Ball scene shots ever. He even makes his own dios and probably has more skill in one pinky finger than most of us mortal men. I love Plasticrealms' vivid shots, and it always blows my mind that he doesn't have more followers than he does now. Get inspired by this guy, go check him out, links to his account in the description, tell him I sent you. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the review, please drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I shall be back with Aoshi and Kaiju number 9 very soon, so see you guys in a bit. Remember to do your push-ups, and as always,
よろしく